Oh, crap. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm having a bad... Yeah, this is not looking good, friends. But with that said, everyone, I was trying to do a live stream to talk about a $12,000 attorney fee for my EEOC that I have to... Let's be honest, everybody. Ooh, it's early in the morning. I don't have brain power right now, but I just wanted to emphasize why. There's pretty much a lot of issues with Porchlight, and people are forgetting that this is a serious matter. This is very serious. So with that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer, and I was doing some research yesterday. Ooh, how much would it cost to hire an attorney to represent me at the EEOC? It's a windy day today, so you're going to hear a lot of wind. This is why I got the dead cat on the microphone. But it's going to cost me at least $12,000 to have a lawyer represent me for an EEOC. I know, that's excessive, right? Up to $12,000. So keep that in mind. It could cost up to $12,000. But how am I going to raise the money for something like that? I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, Panda. This wagon. This wagon is an issue, everybody. This is breaking again. Oh, fucking A, man. I'm sorry, everyone. This wagon is a pain in the butt. It is breaking. I want you guys to see how bent this is. You see how bent that is compared to that one? Straight. This one's bent. It's gonna break. So with that said, everyone, look, puncture holes in the tire once again, making my experience worse. But other than that, everybody, how am I going to afford up to $12,000 in attorney fees to represent me at the EEOC versus Porchlight Inc. in Madison, Wisconsin? That means I'm going to have to continue to be houseless for a while. Yep, because financially, if I have to take out another loan, it's going to have to be for the lawyer, but I'm not going to get much from that loan. So I'm going to actually have to like do some kind of fundraiser or some good to go, GoFundMe account, which I already have a GoFundMe, and I should update it because now I'm going to need an attorney. And I am going to need representation. It's important, everybody, that you understand why I need this representation. Because Porchlight is trying to put more people out on the streets. This is a 501c3, everybody. It's supposed to prevent from people from being homeless. But it doesn't prevent people from becoming homeless. It actually makes people become homeless. So with that said, everyone, I'm also reaching out to you as an audience because this is important, everybody. This could be you. This can be you in a sense. You could be me. You could be suing your employer for discrimination, violation, and harassment, stalking, loss of income, especially from your other income or your other employment or self-employment. But with that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer. I'm going to have to be houseless for a little bit longer than expected. Or I'm just going to be homeless for quite some time because now I have to spend money on attorney fees. So the EEOC should be calling me today because I called them yesterday to confirm they need to look at my recent video that explains why Porchlight lied about a lot of incidents. Like Jim, he threatened me, but the evidence is right there. He even confessed to other members and staff members. Yes, I threatened Mr. Bailey. He's a snitch. And mind you, they all tried to get me fired. That was the whole plan. This is why in my letter of concern, and my second letter of concern, I speak about I don't want to talk to any of the directors, the supervisors. I want to talk to HR or to the exclusive director of Porchlight, because they were in the process of trying to set me up. And I have proof that they did set me up, because Officer Vang from Madison, Wisconsin can testify that, yes, John O'Hara testified in court that he never liked my presence, because he continues to tell the judge that he thinks I am a fraud, I'm a Muslim immigrant. Yeah, he keeps saying Muslim immigrant. Yes, my father is Muslim. Who gives a shit? He's an African Muslim man. No one cares. But to call me a terrorist and an immigrant was beyond. This is why Vang, Officer Vang, literally said this guy is literally out of his mind. So be careful. So with that said, everyone, I have to spend money on attorney fees up to $12,000, which I don't have. So now I have to continue to be in this situation because of the EEOC, because this is all because of Porchlight, to be honest. And Porchlight doesn't want to take responsibility. Porchlight doesn't want to take responsibility of the actions that happen with the employees threatening me. Yes, so Porchlight wants to forget that their staff members threatened me. Maurice, Jim, even Preston Patterson. So with that said, everyone, this is why I have those incident reports. And those incident reports don't lie, because Jim should have never been working there in the first place. And by the way, if you guys didn't see the video, I explained why Jim attacked a blind homeless man. He didn't want to feed him, didn't want to serve him food. Talking about he can see, he's faking. Really? Are you a doctor, Jim? I don't need to be a doctor. He's faking. This is what he's been doing to Lionel Lewis. So with that said, everyone, I showed you guys evidence, some of the evidence, or most of the evidence yesterday. My letters of concern were sent to Porchlight on November 19th, 2019, and March 2nd, 2020. And they cannot deny it, because I just double checked yesterday, and Mr. Thompson Robinson, the mediator for the EEOC, I felt like he didn't give me a fair opportunity to explain more what was going on in Porchlight. This is supposed to be a court case, not a one-sided case. Oh, let's hear Porchlight's side. No, Porchlight already had their side, because Porchlight violated my human rights by allowing Jim to threaten me. Mind you, guys, I got suspended for 1 day for doing my job. You know why I got suspended? I got suspended because giving a homeless man a ban for being intoxicated, calling me the N-word, calling me a toothless black nigger, and I get a ban. Not a ban, I get suspended for 1 day. But when Maurice, Jim, Preston Patterson, and the rest of the staff, Mark, want to threaten me, and I write an incident report, nothing happens to them. They don't get suspended, they don't get docked their pay, they don't even get a warning. This is why Porchlight is full of shit. You sit here, you wanted me to translate. Not only translate, you wanted me to do photography for Porchlight for free. And I told you guys no. This could be also an retaliation, because I told Porchlight, no, I am not doing my photography services as an employee of Porchlight. My photos cost more than your paychecks pay me. No, that's not going to happen. This could be also why I said no. This could be an retaliation, you know, from Porchlight. Oh, he said no to our photography. Yeah, because I don't want to do photography for you. You're not going to pay me. I get paid to take pictures and video. I don't do free promoto for my employer, even if my employer asks me to. No. I have a right to say no. And that's what Porchlight doesn't get. I have rights to say no. And I have a right to file complaints against employees' disorderly conduct in the workplace, which happened. That's why I made a video yesterday on my laptop showing you guys the evidence. Why Porchlight ignored all the incident reports. And all the incident reports that staff threatened me. And staff put their hands on me, like Roger. So, Porchlight, do you have any explanation? But no, they don't watch these videos. If they do, there's someone from Porchlight watching these videos. So with that said, everyone, I just want Porchlight to know I have all the evidence and plus a smoking gun. I have a smoking gun. I have a video. I have a video. I was looking through the mail, I was like, oh, got it. That video shares something very important. Why staff wanted me, wait, this is why staff was plotting to get me fired. They wanted me to do something small and tiny mess up so I can make it a big thing. Yeah, this is why when I went to work, I go to work, I do my office work, I do the check-ins, I do an assessment, I make sure everyone's good, I make sure everyone's checked in, checked out, good, and I leave. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to spend close to $12,000 for this. But it's early in the morning, it's Thursday, and I am worried that I might not get what I need when it comes down to services. I need services, everybody. I need help. I need help. That's the bottom line. If I can't get help, then what's the point asking a bank to put me in more debt for a loan when I can't pay an attorney, and I need this, everybody. No, I can't let Porchlight get away with all that abuse they've been doing at the facility. I can't allow that to happen. And this is why Porchlight is trying to hide. And did you know Porchlight is trying to hide the history of my employment? Oh yes, they're trying to hide my history of employment. But hopefully the EEOC will contact me today, because I'm here at the Wi-Fi booth, so I'm charging the phone, and hopefully they will contact me, because I need to let them know, like, you need to watch this video. Even though you guys have gotten the documents, I don't understand why Robert Thompson from the EEOC did not read that part. The very crucial part. I don't want to talk to staff or anyone in the directors or supervisors, because they're also plotting. Kim Sutter, Preston Patterson. Yeah, they all was in it. Mind you, Kim Sutter violated my restraining orders. Yeah, she violated my restraining orders. That's why Mr. Isaiah Johnson had to serve 7 months in jail. Kim Sutter. If you want to get that information, Kim Sutter or Porchlight, ask Susan E. Robinson from the Dane County District Attorney's Office. She would explain everything to you. You guys violated the restraining order that was issued for me to protect me from Isaiah Johnson and Andreas Moore. You guys failed to do that. You allowed them to come back in the shelter. When they came back to the shelter, he attacked me. So, you are going to pay for damages. Emotional damages. Emotional stress. Loss of income. That's what Porchlight is going to pay for, everybody. And this is why I'm going to show the smoking gun. Why Porchlight violated my Constitution, civil and human rights. They did not follow protocol at the work office. HR at the time did a very poor assessment and a very lousy accusation of me calling people monkeys. Guys, how many times I use monkey on this YouTube channel? Hundreds of times. How many times I use monkey on this channel to express or I told you a story in Japan how young people used to say monkey. Why we say monkey? Because someone in the comments a while back was like, why you use that word monkey? And I said, oh, it's just a phrase when we were kids in Japan, or when we were kids, you just mess around, you just call it monkey. But the problem is, Americans take shit too seriously and out of context. They think everything is racist. And that's the problem with Porchlight. Most of them were black Americans. Maurice was black, Willie was black, William was black, Kenny was black, Preston Patterson was black, but from Chicago. Everyone that worked there was black, other than some people that were in the office headquarters were white and black. So most of it was dominated by black employment. But shelter managers did not have any say. They were hired because they were once homeless. But keep this in mind, everybody. Porchlight put me on a volunteer validation for 30 days, which I turned out to find out that was illegal. They wasn't supposed to do that. Oh yes, this is why I got the smoking gun. This is why I have those emails. I want Porchlight to explain to the EEOC, why did you have Mr. Bailey work for 26 days without any pay? Volunteer or not, he signed an application to work for you in April. Then he was given homework. He completed the homework within 24 hours. Look at the logs of Service Point. Porchlight, you were supposed to give me paid training. Paid training. But you didn't give me this is why I got the smoking gun, everybody. Porchlight was supposed to pay me for paid training, not me being a volunteer. Because there's no such thing as volunteering for Service Point. So technically, they try to save money and try to get away with that. For 30 days, they could have paid me about $1,000. About equivalent about $1,000 worth for train pay for those 4 weeks. But they did not. So what does that tell you? They are the ones that are trying to hide my employment because they know they screwed up on unemployment. They know they weren't supposed to put me on a volunteer when I signed a job application. Then you guys give me the Service Point, not Porchlight. Wendy and Megan Cannon from Service Point of Wisconsin gave me the assignment, and I completed within 24 hours. And then within that 48 hours, I was asked to come and evaluate a test. I did the test right in front of them and showed them that, like, yeah, I'm more tech savvy than all of you. You didn't know this was in the system, did you? No. How did you know that? Like I said, I did the homework plus more. I investigate software. I want to know how to use software. All these platforms of software, right? You're supposed to. If you ever worked in a work office, you're supposed to get familiar with all the software. That's what I did. But Porchlight, as I said, everybody, illegally hired me and did not pay me for those 26 days. This is what they're trying to hide. Guess what? I have an email from Megan Karen. Ooh, that's going to hurt them so much. That letter, that email right there explains on April 5th, 2019. You're supposed to, yeah, I'm just gonna give that to the EEOC. So they go like, wow. So you guys were not being very transparent about the employment application for Mr. Bailey. They were not being very transparent to the EEOC. They are trying to hide it. As I said, everyone, I'm a victim of a hate, discrimination, stalking, harassment, and Porchlight is going to pay for emotional damages, loss of wages, and they're going to pay for the 2019 loss of wages of my photography business because I missed 3 weddings that summer because they couldn't hire anyone. And when they did hire someone, they hired John in June. And then when I was nominated for Employee of the Month twice, he gets upset. Now keep in mind, as I said, everybody, John did this because I was Employee of the Month. And this is why I'm telling Porchlight, that monkey rumor that John spread was a lie. Because guess what? He told the judge, and he told his own attorney, he made it up to get me fired. And this is why I have a smoking gun on Porchlight. The district attorney's office is going to reveal that, or when Susan Robinson from Madison-Dane County District Attorney's Office, when she gets in contact with me, she's going to give me those, I think those transcripts in the court office. He literally said it while I was in court, in front of my face. Porchlight, I made it up so I could get him fired. Because he's not who you say he is. He's a Muslim terrorist. He keeps saying that in court. I'm a Muslim terrorist. He keeps saying that. So, just to let everyone know, this is what he said in court. This is why, Porchlight, you are done. You literally believed a liar, and you took it to the heart. You had no evidence. You even wrote it in the mandatorium. You wrote it in the mandatorium. That's what that letter was, a mandatorium. You wrote it, said there was accusations and accusement, but you didn't have any physical evidence, Porchlight. That's the key. You have to have physical evidence. But you just says, oh, well, I think you did, so you think I did? See, that's a poor assessment. Don't you guys agree? Any judge, any lawyer, any prosecution was like, no, you have to have evidence that he said it. Do you have it? Yes or no? No. Then it's out of the door. It's out. Because John, I have evidence. In court, John said he made it up to get me terminated. Can you explain that, Porchlight? Can you? Can you? No, you cannot. You also can't explain why he was harassing me from July, August, September, and October. Actually, it started at August, September, October. Can you explain that? Don't sit here and tell the EEOC, oh, this happened after. No, it happened during the work. Because Darnell, we kept explaining to Preston that there's tension between Keiki and John. John is being aggressive because Keiki told him no. Because I wouldn't give him a cigarette. I brought the cigarettes for all the homeless men. He knows I don't smoke cigarettes. But he has a job. Buy your own cigarettes. These men don't have money to buy $10, $12 cigarette packs. So I brought the cigarettes, he get mad. And then he tell Preston Patterson and Wendy that I'm soliciting. I'm selling cigarettes. I'm giving out cigarettes, not selling. What the fuck would I sell cigarettes for? I don't understand that. He did everything to get me fired. And guess what? Porchlight believed his stupid ass. That's how stupid Porchlight really is. You believe someone that was convicted of stalking, violation of the restraining order. Yes, he was arrested. John Hira was arrested and was played guilty. So, Porchlight, stop playing these stupid games with the EEOC and just tell the truth. Stop wasting time and stop wasting my money. Stop wasting people's time and taxpayers' money. Because that's what you're doing, Porchlight. You're not only putting people back out on the streets, you're supposed to be a 501c3. You're supposed to prevent this from happening to anyone. You're supposed to man them and say, yes, we have an unstructured workforce here. We understand there are problems. But no, you never came to light to the EEOC and said that. You just wanted to accuse me of stealing food donations, which was ridiculous. This is why I laughed. I laughed. Really? Food donations? Peanut butter jelly sandwiches? whenever I need to eat or get subsistence? Are you serious? So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make sense why Porchlight is sitting here trying to say, I did this, I did that, but they don't have any physical evidence. They don't even have fucking letters that I have because they lost them all, or they misplaced it, or they tried to claim that they never received it. Really? You never received these letters, these documentations? Okay, then how did the EEOC receive them? Wait, how did Dawn from HR receive them? Yes, Dawn from HR, Porchlight. Ask her, she has my emails, because guess what? As I said before, we met up twice on UW campus to talk about the problems, about the employees that were physically assaulting me, like Roger and Mark and Maurice and Jim. Don, don't sit here and say you did not talk to me on the campus, because I literally would go to the campus and contact UW and ask them for the footage. We were sitting at the South Union building. We would say we were not. We weren't talking about this before all these more problems started to happen, Dawn. This is Dawn from HR. She just got hired, everybody. This is why I'm sharing this, because Porchlight is lying, and now Porchlight wants to put me in more debt. Yeah, Porchlight wants to see me suffer. What kind of 501c3 wants to see a grown man or a woman or a child to continue to live on the street? What kind of 501c3 does that? Think about it, everybody. That's not a 501c3. It's a business. That's a business. It's a business to harm and hurt people. If you don't give them what they need, this is why most of the men refuses to use Porchlight housing services, because all they want to do is control your life and what you do. You can't have family members over for your birthday or for holidays. No. Let's say you transition from the subsidized housing to regular housing. You get an apartment just like this, but it's controlled by Porchlight. But you still cannot have family inside your apartment or friends over. You can have a dinner gathering, you can have a birthday party. Yes. You know how many men have said that? That's in the Porchlight program? Dozens. And they want it out. So they asked Glenn Rodriguez, can Glenn Rodriguez find a new apartment? And when Porchlight social workers find out, they get upset. Why is Glenn doing this? Why is Keiki doing that? Because these men don't want to live in your program anymore. It's a dictatorship. You're telling me that I get back into society among the rest of the people and I still can't be part of society by having my friends or my neighbors over? Are you serious? Yes, you can't even have your neighbors over. You cannot have your neighbors over, or you would get kicked out. Porchlight will kick you out your apartment for violating their rules. Yeah, these are their rules. What kind of shit is that, everybody? You're back in society. It took you 10 years to get back on foot, to get housing, and they tell you you still can't have friends and family over, or your neighbors. You can't even have a dog. Yes, you can't even have a pet unless you already have a pet and it's a service animal. So if you do have a pet and it's a service animal, yes. But some of these buildings, like this is Wisconsin, some of these buildings in Wisconsin are not pet friendly anyway in Wisconsin. I'm just going to be honest with that. You don't see a lot of people walking dogs. Well, you see a lot of people walking dogs in Wisconsin, but they go to another park. But as I'm saying, everybody, Porchlight, these are the things that Porchlight is doing to civilians that are in the program. So with that said, everyone, I need to hire an attorney. It might cost me up to $12,000. I'm going to need the help. And I know if I'm going to take out this loan, I'm going to be in more debt than anything else. I'm going to be in debt, everybody, but I'm going to need help. I'm going to have to try to ask the world and the audience to try to think about saving a life from this corrupt 501c3. Guys, Google Porchlight Inc. Google it. You can see they have a 2.4 Google rating. That is super bad. It's a 2.4 rating or 2.3. Let me go double check that. Let me go double check that. Let's see. Hey Siri, Porchlight Inc. in Madison, Wisconsin. Ooh, it's giving me something else. Hey Siri, Porchlight Inc. in Madison, Wisconsin. Ooh, it's giving me something else. Oh my god. Alright, let's do Porchlight. Oops. Oh, it is windy and it is chilly today, friends. It's so many, oh, there's so many porch lights. Gotta write it, Madison. There we go. Oh wow, they got a 3.7 now. That's bullshit. How do you get a 3.7 with these fake reviews? Let's see these fake reviews. Why can I not click the review? This is new. 2 stars. Sorry, this one is in Japanese, but it's okay. Let's read these. Hold on one second. Oh what the hell? What's going on here? Okay, let's read these comments. No. What the fuck just happened here? She says, it was a good place to be at where you had people who care about you. No one went unnoticed. You were treated fairly and you were treated with compassion and respect, blah, blah, blah. But, the guy says, but, wait. Uh-oh, he's talking about problems in the, yeah, he's talking about the problems in the shelter. Okay. So let's go back. I'm sorry, I'm doing this with one hand, everybody. Let me brighten this up. Look at this video. I lived in Porchlight apartments. Yes, they do provide housing for the homeless, but at the same time, they take advantage of the tenants and how it is. Look, read this. Read this. I'm converting it. She says it. They take advantage of the tenants. I haven't seen or talked to a lady about her maintenance. I don't know what's that about. Blah, blah, basement broke, locked door. Yeah, you see that? I just want everyone to see these comments. This is fake as fuck. Great support for veterans. You're not even homeless, friend. Look, great support for veterans. Everyone has treated me with top. Yeah, right. That's not even. Yeah, this is fake. Kayla. Kayla staff are amazing, compassionate. No, they're not, friends. No, they're not. You guys don't see what happened behind closed door. Porchlight is bad for the community. They housing bad people, drug dealers, crackheads. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about, everybody. Look, this guy got 11 votes. All the drug activity happens in the shelter. See? These are real people. That's true. No one's in charge of the weekend. President Patterson's not there on the weekend. No one's on the weekend. That is so true. This is so true. This comment. So goddamn true. No one's in charge on the weekend. It's great that there is a place to help people. Someone needs to tell people to not bother people who are walking down the street. I know who that is. I know exactly who he's talking about. Mark. He likes to bully people. Jennifer Thompson. Look at this comment. She was a volunteer, I think. Repeatedly heard people been emotionally abused with Porchlight services. No check, no balance with staff and actions. People are so vulnerable when there are no homes when needed to do better. See? She's not even homeless. She knows. These are real people, friends. Look at this. Sad to see staff not being kind to the homeless folks. Staff need to wash blankets. That is also true. Let's talk about the blankets. They don't wash the blankets. This is how people get skin disease or TB. Yes, Porchlight. I've complained about that too. What are these fake reviews? Doing an amazing job. See, this is not a review from a real person that is homeless. They provide exceptional service for the homeless population in Madison. You're not even homeless, friend. You're an elite. You're just making views so you can get points. See that, guys? This is like Google. You got to be careful. He only wants to make points. Don't rely on them for help. See, James. Don't rely on them for help. Why would Preston Patterson, look at this, Preston Patterson wrote his own review. You see this busted Porchlight. Porchlight, you're busted. You see this? Everyone, this is fraud. Google, look, this guy works for Porchlight. This is an illegal review. Preston Patterson, you're fake. You're full of shit. Great place to work. You see this, everybody? This is why Google should pay attention. That is a fake review. Oh, they want me to sign in. Okay, never mind. I do it later. That's a fake review, everybody. He works for Porchlight. This is the guy I'm talking about. He wrote a review so he can up the points for the website. But doesn't change. Cheat for everything, move ASAP. What's this one? Place is unbelievable. 1 star. Brandon Smith. Oh, I remember you, sir. Porchlight sucks. 8 votes. You see that? Stay away. 6 votes. David Hendon. Look, Rocco. Oh, I remember this guy. I know Preston Patterson remembered this guy. He was the lawyer. See, I remember all the faces. JR. Look at all these homeless guys making reviews. All these fake people. They're not even saying words. They're just giving it 5 stars. Something ain't right here, everybody. This is fake. There's nothing. This is fake. All these reviews are fake. There's nothing said. It's just given 5 stars. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it my 1 star. No. No. Hold on, everybody. Let me log in real quick. I'm gonna log in quickly here. It's me. Stop being douche. As a Google elite, I see a lot of fake reviews. And Preston Patterson review is fake and should be removed. Porchlight is not a good place. And I have evidence, video, photographs. As I work for Porchlight and currently suing Porchlight in an EEOC. This is how I'm going to get their attention. This is how I'm going to get their attention. I'm going to leave my own review. And watch they contact me. Watch Porchlight say I am, what is that, defamation of character on Porchlight. No, I'm not, friend. You're a piece of shit, Porchlight. You're liars. So, with that said, you saw Preston Patterson post a fake review for his own employment. Now, he might have a right to do that, but you just recently did that within the last year. But you've been working for Porchlight for 10, 12 years. Yes, guys, that's how long he's been working for Porchlight, apparently. That's what it was said, about 10 years. And so 10 years, Porchlight's been doing this abuse. So with that said, everyone, as I said, I showed you guys evidence of why Preston Patterson was a liar, an manipulator, and abused people. You see, I wrote a new one, and this is new. So I'm going to ask you guys to try to keep your open heart and an open mind about this situation, please. Because they're trying to put people back out on the street when they're supposed to help people and prevent people from going back out on the street. But instead, Porchlight likes to put people back out on the street. So with that said, everyone, I'm just showing you guys why Porchlight is not a legitimate place. And recently, yeah, those fake reviews, those are pure fake reviews, everybody. 5-star reviews with no one saying anything. Wow. And I'm pretty sure, if I dig a little bit deeper, I'm pretty sure those are employees that work for Porchlight. Yeah, those are employees doing that for Porchlight. But with that said, everyone, please think about helping the Panda Photographer. I have a GoFundMe for my attorney fees if you guys want to help out. I have a PayPal, Cash App, Venmo as well if you want to help out with those as well. This is breaking, friend. Yeah, this is breaking. I need to... But thank you, everyone, for watching and listening, because this is going to be the moment where Preston Patterson, Kim Sutter, and Porchlight is going to feel the wrath of the Panda Photographer. You should never hire a documentarian that was recording everything. I was recording everything, Patterson. So keep in mind, this is why I got a smoking gun. This is why I was looking for one video in particular. One video in particular. It was a day that Preston Patterson was doing something that was so unethical. And I was recording at the front desk. And I told him in his face, you're not going to mistreat me. I'm not your slave. You work for me now. That's what he said. So, Preston Patterson, I recorded that. You forgot, didn't you? So, keep that in mind, Mr. Patterson. You forgot that I am a professional documentarian and a photographer. You forgot that I recorded everything that went on in the shelter. Because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure Isaiah Johnson would have got less time in jail. But as I said, Isaiah Johnson got 7 months in jail for violating the restraining order that Kim Sutter allowed him to do twice. He attacked Jim, mind you that. So that's on Kim Sutter's fault. But with that said, everyone, I need your help. I really do. I need your help. I don't need Porchlight help. I need your help. So please find in your heart if you want to make a donation today to help me with attorney fees. because this is going to be a long battle and a long road. It seems like it's going to be a long road ahead again, because I've been dealing with this since 2020, and it's 2023. So let's find out if the EOC is going to help me this time and figure out what was really going on at Porchlight, because I can show them what was really going on at Porchlight. I have videos. I hope you guys have I hope EOC has like a big well, their system doesn't allow you to upload certain files. So this is why, hey, I have it on social media, everybody. But like I said, everyone, Porchlight is not a very fair place. Trust me. I got videos that showing, and here's the thing, I got testimony from men from Wisconsin that can literally said that, yo, Porchlight needs to change up, even though they're probably not at the same place. Because I heard they got a new facility. They upgraded the new facility, apparently, to more space to accommodate more men and women when it's a winter night, apparently. But doesn't excuse them for what they did to me. How they took advantage of me. And advantage of my language skills. None of them speak French. None of them speak Japanese, Korean, Chinese. None of them speak any other. No one speaks another language in Porchlight. Especially Roger. So-called, oh, I'm Norwegian too, Panda. He tried to compete with me, everybody. He looked at my European passport and was like, oh, I'm European too. I was like, I don't care. It's like, no, here's the other one. You don't need to look at what my real name is. Here, you get that one. He goes, why you got 2 passports? I'm like, you, and I said this to him. I said this to Roger. Why would you say why I have 2 passports? I thought you served the military. Then you would know that there are people with 3 passports. Some people with dual citizenships. What the fuck is wrong with you? You so-called you served. I don't think he served anything. But with that said, everyone, that guy put his hands on me. Maurice put his hands on me. Fucking Roger put his hands on me. Jim threatened me, told me he know where I lived. All right, you know where I live. Good. I'm glad that he said that. And I'm glad I have those documents. And Porchlight, you can't deny that he didn't say it, because he did say it. He confessed it to you. He said it. Because he called me a little piece of shit in front of Kim Sutter's face. He's a piece of shit. He wants to snitch on the government on us. That's what he said in front of Kim Sutter at a meeting. And Maurice. Yeah, so there you go, everybody. I hope you guys understand that this is serious. These are people that should not be working in, and hopefully they're not working there anymore. But for Preston Patterson to leave a Google review within the year, that is bullshit. Good place to work. It's not a good place to work if you're discriminating and you're violating human rights, my friend. And you are a fucking fat piece of shit, Mr. Patterson. Yeah, I call you fat piece of shit. You're lazy. You don't cook your own meals. You get some other homeless man to cook your meal like it's you, as if you the king. You're no king. I don't like that fucking shit, friend. Yeah, everybody, I don't like it when he's mistreating homeless men. This is why I wanted to work and see how he would treat me. And now I know that he definitely treated me unfairly. Throw me on the bus because you wrote Lance Klaus a fucking band, and then I had to deal with it when you weren't there. Yeah, Preston Patterson wrote this guy a fucking band. This guy comes back intoxicated. I realized he had a band, so I banned him from even calling me. And I get 1 day suspension. A 1 day suspension. But when staff threaten me and put their hands on me, no one is penalized. Okay. No one gets fired, no one gets penalized, no one gets suspended. But everyone wants to suspend me. Isn't that suspicious, everybody? That is so suspicious. This is why I don't care what Porchlight say right now. They can kiss my ass, friend. You guys are a fucking fake 501c3. You guys don't understand constitutional rights. You don't. I guarantee you, none of your employees know the human rights constitution. Do you know your human rights? I guarantee you don't. This is why everybody, this is why I left Wisconsin, don't want to deal with anyone. I don't want to deal with Porchlight in Wisconsin. I go back to Wisconsin for UW services, capital services, photography, and everything else. But being around Porchlight, nah, I don't want to be around a bunch of idiots that don't understand like the right of freedom. You saw those comments on Google yourself. It's not a very good place. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Panda Photographer, and I am suing my former employee for violations of human, civil, and constitutional rights. And I hope Porchlight is ready for that, because as I said, Porchlight, you allow men, women, and your own employees to violate my rights. Especially Kim Sutter. Kim Sutter, you that was a big mistake you did. Allowing Isaiah Johnson and Andreas Moore to come back into the shelter, knowing that they had an restraining order. You thought you were above the law. That's the problem. You thought you were above the law. You're not above the law. This is why I cannot wait to talk to Susan Robinson from the District Attorney's Office in Madison. Oh my Panda, it's going to be so good, because that's where I'm going to get that transcript of John saying he lied about calling me calling people monkey. He told his own attorney that and his own attorney was like, you can't use that in court. But he's a menace. John called me a menace. For what reason? I don't know. But in court, the dude literally said it. He lied to make it up so he could get me terminated. That's why when I went back to Porchlight, and I was like, and that January of 2020, and I was like, okay, how this is gonna play out. And then when Officer Vang called me and like let me know, like, yeah, dude, he's still after you, aren't he? Yeah, he's still looking for me. He got arrested the second time. And this is why I'm coming to Porchlight. Like, this is your fault, Porchlight. You gave him an address. You gave him the reason to use your system, and he abused your system by stealing information that you allowed him to steal. So therefore, it is on you, Porchlight. You are at fault. You are to blame for everything that has happened. You had problems way before I was on board with Porchlight. So ladies and gentlemen, don't believe Porchlight. Now listen, I have nothing against the exclusive director. I think the exclusive director, I forgot her name. I don't think she's the problem. The problem is Kim Sutter, Preston Patterson, and whoever works at shelter manager at night. Those were the problems. Like I said, you had Kim Sutter thought she was above the law. She thought she can override the police restraining order. She should go to jail for that, actually. In Madison, Wisconsin, I think you can go to jail for that. I need to Google that. I need to see if someone can be responsible also for negligence, because Isaiah Johnson was not responsible for his own doing. He was told to come back to the shelter by a Porchlight staff member called Kim Sutter. He was told by Kim Sutter to come back because he said it in the court when he was getting arrested and when he served his time. This is why he got 7 months in jail in 2020. So I just want to let Porchlight know that this is what happened. John got served. John served time. Yes, John went to jail. He pled guilty for everything that he did, stalking, harassment. He's supposed to be paying me money, but that's not going to happen. He disappeared, apparently. Apparently he disappeared. Or unless he's homeless. Because he didn't have any money. But courts, order him to pay me restitution and emotional damages. Just to keep that in mind, Porchlight. He's supposed to pay me restitution, but that's never going to happen because he disappeared. I think he's homeless. But with that said, everyone, this is Porchlight. I got to deal with it financially. I'm just trying to come up with that idea, how I'm going to come up with the money. So the best way I can come up with the money is to ask my audience, you, in the world, if you guys can help me out with attorney fees. As I said, I got a PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, but I got a GoFundMe. I'm going to update the GoFundMe today. I'm going to sit down on the laptop. I'm going to update it. I'm going to explain why I need to finish the goal on the GoFundMe. I need to raise that money so I can hire an attorney to represent me. I want this attorney to go through all of my paperwork, all of my footage. I want that person to sit down with me and look at it and assess, like, on this day, okay. Because keep in mind, all my videos have a metadata on it. Ooh, yes, all my videos have metadata. I bet you Porchlight doesn't even know what metadata is. Metadata is when you document something, you record something. Every videographer and every photographer knows this. Gotta put metadata on it because this is gonna save your ass. It just tells you what time it was recorded, what date it was recorded. It's all there. This is why I'm not changing any documents. I know I fucked up writing some of those letters, but it's going to show you that I literally tried to reach out to HR and they did nothing since August of 2019. So with that said, everyone, I was set up to be fired. I was set up to not have a job at Porchlight. And I believe Porchlight sabotagingly did that on purpose. All the employees, including Roger, Darnell, all of them, because a lot of things that happen. A lot of things happen. So with that said, everyone, hopefully, Preston Patterson, you better have a lawyer too, friend, because you are the reason why a lot of men don't like you. You manipulate homeless men. You abuse their mental health. You're not a very good person. You call yourself a church man. What church man talks about his own white employees? Don't trust these white people in Porchlight. This is what he said. Don't trust these white people at Porchlight. If you want, we do shit. This is what he told me. We do things here in-house. So everything stays in-house. If you have a complaint, you come to me. I was like, no, I go to HR. He didn't like when I said that. You're not HR. I go to HR. He said, you go to HR, Daniel's not going to do anything. He's with them. This is what Preston Patterson said. Daniel is with them. Yeah, he said them. I remember the conversation because we were in the office. He was like, them. It's us versus them. That's what he said. But when Kim Sutter comes around, he wants to Kimmy, kiss her ass sometimes. And that's why I was observing, like, you're full of shit, guy. But Kim didn't like my words. Every time I wrote Kim back in the letter, she was like, oh, so, yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I did my job. I did it so well. I did it better than most of your staff. But I'm being accused of this and that and accused of stealing food donations? Are you serious? If that's the case, I got footage of all your staff stealing food donations. I got footage of Willie taking bags of groceries out of the fucking refrigerator when I asked him not to. These are for the men. What are you doing? These are for the men and women. What are you doing? He's like, oh, I don't got any food at the crib. I'm like, well, go to the food pantry. But Preston Patterson, guess what, everybody? Preston Patterson is stealing food all the time from the shelter. He eats from the refrigerator all the time. He takes food all the time from the refrigerator. That's stealing. Maurice does it. Willem does it. Mark does it all the time because he's a janitor. So I'm asking Porchlight, why are you accusing me but not accusing these other employees? When you know these other employees are stealing the food. You're just trying to blame it on me. But guess what? I'm a vegan. This is where you fucked up at it. You don't serve vegan food. You never have. This is why I never eat at Porchlight. And I never have. This is why you guys are full of shit. Come on, friend. How can you say I steal food to feed myself? Wait. But it's the volunteers that bring the food. And the breakfast food. Mind you, I can't eat egg, I can't eat sausages, I can't eat butter, toast, milk. This is what they serve every morning, pancakes. Yeah, pancakes, eggs, sausage. This is what they eat all the fucking time. Not all the time. Sometimes they just eating leftover fucking last night food from last night's shit. But as I said to everyone, Porchlight, you're full of crap. Prove that I stole some food. Because I can prove in video all your other staff members, including Preston Patterson, taking food from the shelter or from the facility. And that was one of my complaints. That was one of my complaints. Food being taken from the shelter because men and women in the mornings would not have anything to eat. That was one of my complaints. But no one took it seriously, everybody, at Porchlight. They wanted to now take my own complaint and put it against me. You see that, everybody? How can you do that, Porchlight? How can you take my own incident report about the food that's been taken? Almost every other morning, there's no breakfast for men and women. They gotta eat whatever leftover, or I have to make them, or someone has to make them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or they have to make their own peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's messed up, that they can't have a decent breakfast because your staff members are taking food. And then when I wrote a complaint about it, now you want to take that same complaint that I wrote and you want to use it against me on an EEOC? Okay, like I said, I showed those documents yesterday. And this is where you screwed up, Porchlight. You thought I didn't have them. You thought I don't have any of these documents, but I do. I also got video. I just posted video a few months ago about what really goes on inside the shelter. Verbal abuse from staff. Kicking members out and, oh my panda, it was 17 degrees that day and they kicked us out. Mind you guys, I was once in that shelter. I know what goes on. I was once homeless in that shelter. And when they asked me, they said, wait, you work for... This is how, and like I said, this is how I was approached with a job offer with Porchlight. I kept telling them no. Every time they kept asking me, wait, how many times, Preston Patterson, you kept asking me, Porchlight kept asking me, hey, you have good computer skills, you go to UW and you know how to, you want to work for us? No. I kept telling them no. Until the men and women, it's like, yo, Panda, why don't you work for Porchlight, friend? You could be on our side. I was like, that's not a bad idea. But I don't like the people here because I know what's going on. The drug sales. Yeah, the drug sales that goes on inside the shelter. And when I told Preston Patterson, he goes, oh, I'll be reported. I said, but your own staff this is before I was even an employee. I was a person of interest using the services, but would not want to give them my social security number. I refused to. So, here's the problem with Porchlight. Right before I was employed, they were selling drugs. This is why I know. Maurice literally selling the drug right in front of my face. I'm like, okay, all right. And then when he was surprised when I came a staff member, he's like, oh shit. Your Panda just saw me sell drugs to fucking a while back. Is he gonna snitch on me? And this is when the problem started. This is when the problem started, Patterson and Porchlight. William, Mark, Maurice, Yeah, they're all selling drugs in the shelter. Can you explain that? Maurice is selling weed too. Yeah, selling weed in the shelter. Mind you, in Wisconsin, marijuana is still illegal. Marijuana was still illegal. So I asked you this, Porchlight, when I complained about the drug sales, did you do anything about it? No. You did nothing. You thought I was assuming or making up a story. So now when I make allegations, it's like, oh no, throw that in the trash. Like, yeah. But when people make allegations or accusement of me doing something, it's like, oh yeah, that stands. You see that, everybody? You see how my complaint doesn't stand, but when someone else makes a complaint about me, a false complaint by that, it stands, and I get a 1-day suspension for doing my job, for suspending someone that literally spit on me, cursed me out, called me nigger, called me toothless bitch, and then throws an object at me, and you telling me that I get a 1-day suspension? Okay. Like I said, Porchlight, you're going to pay for emotional damages, emotional stress. You're going to pay for lost wages. You're going to pay for lost income from my photography, because I got those 3 same clients from Wisconsin that can testify like, yeah, you're supposed to do my wedding, then you changed your mind and you got another photographer to do it for us. So, mind you, Porchlight, I got more leverage in Madison than you do, even though you've been established in Madison for a long time. But guess what? The people don't love you because you're not being honest. So now I have to show the world how dishonest you were by you telling the EOC in 2020 in September that you never received any of these documents. Okay, you never received any of these documents. That's because you have a poor staff. You have poor staff employment. No one is following anything on time. No one does anything on time in Porchlight. So, take it with a grain of salt, everybody. I need your help. I need your help to hire an attorney. If you are a lawyer and you're watching this video and you want to help me with this EEOC case, I appreciate it. I really mean it. I will hug you. I will love you a long time. I know I have to pay you. Because I don't want people working for free. I just don't like that idea. This is why I don't want to work for free. This is why I tell people you should never work for free as a photographer or videographer. If anyone asks you, hey, I can help you with your portfolio, like, listen, I got Instagram, social media, and all that. That is my portfolio. What do you have to do? What makes you think you're going to change the world? People, don't work for free. This is why I want to pay my attorney, so my attorney can say, well, yeah, this is a very good case. We can win and we can get our money back. Yeah. So I need your help. If anyone's an attorney out there, anyone that wants to help me in this situation, I'm charging my iPhone. This thing charges my iPhone so slow. It's so bad. If anybody wants to help, it would really mean the world to me right now. Because right now, financially, I cannot afford it. I can't. And I think you know this, I can't afford this. And I think you want me to win. I think you, as an audience, want me to win this case. Because it sounds like there's some inconsistencies with this employer. And there are. This is why I showed you guys the evidence. Why there were so many problems. Why am I writing so many incident reports? But most of these incident reports are individuals that are attacking me and staff members. But keep in mind, I'm still in contact with Juan Rodriguez and Kayla, former employees that used to work there, that only worked there for a very short time and filed the EEOC as well. Yes, they've also filed their own EEOC to talk about the same problems at Porchlight. So Porchlight, this is where you screwed up. You don't think I'm still communicating with Juan Rodriguez. He's still in Wisconsin, by the way. Keep that in mind. He's still in Wisconsin. You don't think I'm talking to Kayla either. Mind you, I speak Monk. You don't. Remember, I dated a Monk girl that was murdered in Wisconsin named E. Lee. I know you know me because you saw me in the newspaper in Wisconsin. So, so you don't speak Monk. but I do. And that's the problem, everybody. They lost their translator. I was their translator. No, if you're gonna pay me to translate off hours, then you gotta pay me off hours, Porchlight. Mind you, if I wanted to be the interpreter, I could just go down to Dane County Courthouse and get paid $50 to $75 an hour to be an interpreter, just in a court case. Yeah, guys, you never knew that before? If you ever want to interpret, you can go to the courthouse, register, or try to get a job to be an interpreter. This is why I was telling Porchlight, no, you're not going to get free services or photography work from me. And they get mad about it. Like, oh, so you're not going to do us a favor. Like, but you can do UW a favor. Like, UW, yes, I could do UW Madison a favor. Because that's the university. That's my university. That's Yuki's university. That's our university. That's the community's university. They can get free photos from me all they want. You know how many times I got stuff from them for free? And they hooked me up? When did Porchlight ever hook me up? Exactly, they never did. But guess what, everybody? This is where they fucked up too. You have to understand. When they hired me, I was still inside that shelter. And when they hired me, they told me I couldn't stay inside the shelter anymore. That means I had to sleep outside and work for Porchlight. Isn't that fucked up? Think about that, everybody. They wanted me to work for Porchlight, but they knew I was staying inside the shelter. They knew I didn't have housing at the time, because I just came back to Wisconsin, and it's taking some time, and then they wanted to hire me. I told them no the first 7 times, and then the 8th time, they wanted to hire me, and then they tell me that I couldn't stay in the shelter if I'm being hired by Porchlight. It's a conflict of interest, they say. Yeah, it was a conflict of interest, they say. So I had to leave and sleep outside for about a month and a half before I found an apartment. Isn't that fucked up, everybody? Isn't that messed up? So you're telling me I have to do either another, either stay in the shelter or not have this job? That's kind of messed up, friend. If you think about it, it is messed up, Porchlight. I was once in your shelter, and you tell me I can't not stay in your shelter anymore because it's conflict of interest. Then why did you continue to ask me if you want me guys to work for you? I don't understand. Why you continue to bother me and pester me about being hired? Because you wanted someone very educated. You wanted someone very knowledgeable. But you knew that you had a problem with language barrier inside the shelter. So you needed someone, and you thought I was the perfect candidate. But I was, until you fucked that up. You screwed that up yourself, Porchlight. I didn't, you did. So again, Porchlight, there's a number of things you did that violate your own policies and your own procedures. First and foremost, you hired me knowing that I was staying in your shelter, and then you kicked me out your shelter, which means you violated my human right to have a free and safe place to stay. Because you wanted either this or the other. Either I work for you or I stayed in the shelter. That was the only 2 options, everybody. And I don't think that was a fair option. And then I was accused of a lot of things. I was sleeping in the shelter. Dude, I was sleeping in the shelter before I was hired, John. So I had to leave. Why do you think I'm going east of Madison? He kept following me east. He kept following me in his car down East Gorham. Then when I went down to East Gorham, I ran down from East Gorham and went down King Street to go to East Johnson. He was right there on the next corner. He followed me and followed me every night. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't believe Porchlight Inc. in Madison, Wisconsin. They're not a very good 501c3. I know my videos are long. I know I'm talking a lot. But you guys really have to understand how and why they are not They are not adding everything up, and they're not looking at the bigger picture at Porchlight. This is why I want to show you all the documents. This is why you look at my video yesterday. I'm showing you the documents. I'm showing you evidence that staff was plotting to have me removed from the workplace. They were literally plotting to get me in trouble. They tried to find anything small to accuse me of any little thing. And they tried to, and they almost succeed. But guess what, everybody? You can't accuse me of stealing donations because I don't eat at your facility. That's just bullshit. And Preston Patterson knows this. Everybody knows that. Panda never eats at the fucking shelter. Why would you accuse me of doing it now? Because you took my own complaint against me, talking about the food that was getting stolen by other staff, and now you're trying to blame it on me. All right, this is why I got that letter. This is why I got that document. This is why I have everything that you gave me, Porchlight, and I saved it just for this buttery moment. So when we do go to the EOC, and I'm going to take you to court anyway, I feel like I want to also take you to federal court for more. Because if the EOC doesn't agree with the violations of the human right violations, but they agree with the harassment, stalking, and the discrimination of John, I'm going to sue them for emotional damages. And loss of wages, everybody. I have to. I lost a lot of money dealing with this shit. I lost my fucking sanity because of this shit. Working for Porchlight. I worked for a consulate. I worked for an embassy. I worked for another 501c3, and I never lost my shit. This is the only 501c3 out of all the 501c3s I worked at, and all the facilities and agencies I worked at. This is the only job employment that was so chaotic, and so toxic, and so dangerous. And to have a table thrown at me, not once, but a table thrown at me twice by two individuals, yeah. Now, friends, this was a dangerous work environment, and Porchlight knew. Guys, there is no security benefits at Porchlight. If someone hits you at Porchlight, or stabs you at Porchlight, or threatens you with a gun at Porchlight, it's game over. There's no insurance. There's no liability insurance with Porchlight. That's what's the problem. This is why that man was stabbed at the shelter. Yeah, several people got stabbed at the shelter. I have the footage of that too. Oh, Porchlight, you don't think I have the footage of that? And you did nothing about it. You didn't take it seriously. Yes, Porchlight didn't take it seriously. I asked Porchlight, we need to start, and I asked the man, we need to start doing body search for weapons. I don't care if you have your drugs, keep your drugs on you. We just don't want the weapons. There's been too many times I've been assaulted at Porchlight, so many times by staff and guests. And Porchlight didn't take it seriously. Guys, in that 1 year alone, 3 men were stabbed at the shelter. I was assaulted not once, but 5 times total. Twice by, well, 3 times by guests, and I just explained that and showed that, and twice by staff in 2019, and then Maurice and the rest of the gang ganged up on me in 2020. Like, oh, you fucking snitch, blah, blah, get the fuck out of here. Clock in, get the fuck out of my office. Like, this is not your office, shut the fuck up. This is the words exchange between me and Maurice. Every time I go downstairs to check the clock in sheet, he said, what are you doing down here? Go back upstairs. You don't fucking belong here, you snitch. This is what I get all the time. You want to be white man? You want to be for, yeah, this is what Maurice was saying. What a racist prick, right? Talking about you want to work for the white man so badly that you kiss the white man's ass. That's what he was saying to me. That's why I recorded it. This is why I was like, say it. Say some more. Say some more. You go, oh, you recording me now? Oh, you want to record me, bitch? Yeah, cursing me out. Yeah, that's why I was like, keep recording. I have a goddamn constitutional right to record you, friend. Go ahead, Porchlight, say it. Because when I showed evidence, oh, I already did. I want you to explain all these incidents that happened at the shelter. Please explain it. Why you didn't tell the EEOC about these incidents, but you only want to focus on me stealing food, and now, what was it? Stealing food and stealing time. The fuck is stealing time? That was crazy bullshit. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate it. It's very windy today, so this is why I have the deck cat on. But I appreciate you for listening and taking the time to understand what was going on. I would not want this to happen to you either. None of you. Not even the people that dislike this video. I would not want this to happen to you either. Because it should not happen to anyone. You tried to do a solid because the community asked you to. Preston Patterson, Porchlight, I didn't do it for you. I did it for the men and women that asked me to do it. Because they knew they didn't want Roger at that front desk anymore. You know that. And you knew yourself that Roger was a problem. Roger put his hands on people too much. That's assault. Keep that in mind. Mind you, I still have a 5-year to literally, I still have 2 years left. I can literally still press charges against Roger for putting his hands on me. Mind you that, Porchlight. I can still put this man in jail for the same reasons of 2020 you put your hands on me. You pushed me. Not once, but twice. And I told you, don't ever put your hands on me. Ever again. You're not going to have that on. Now, my property is in my office. And I have a right to go in my office and get my property that I pay for. Because Porchlight didn't pay for that. I did. Your paychecks don't pay my rent, Porchlight. They pay my electricity. They pay for food. But they don't pay my rent. You cut my hours. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. They started cutting my hours. It's like, oh, you don't need to work this here today. You don't need to work. Instead of me working 6 times a week, wait, this is another thing. This is why fair practice was not being played. At the very beginning, they wanted me to work 6-7 days a week. I was like, I can't. I have photography. They said either this or photography. Yeah, another threat by Porchlight. And then, when the problems happened, they started cutting my hours. I was getting 2 days. They started cutting from 5 days to 4 days to 3 days to 2 days. And that's when I was like, no, this is bullshit. I'm getting 2 days of work now, but I have to still go in the office every other day? Okay. I see how this is playing out, friend. I see how this is playing out. They started cutting my hours on purpose. That's sabotage. That is purpose. And Preston Patterson, I have the schedule still. I went from 6 days a week to 2 days a week. That is sabotage. Don't you guys agree? And I have the evidence. Preston Patterson. Oh, mind you, when you did the schedules, I saved them all. You cut my hours because people were talking. Yeah, Darnell didn't want me at the front desk anymore because she wasn't doing her job. Bullshitting. Come on, friend. This is not a 501c3, everybody. It's a dictatorship. Everybody wants to have power inside Porchlight. For what reason? But with that said, everyone, I'm stressed out right now because I can't sleep at night. Listen, it wasn't not bad last night, and I wasn't able to sleep because this was on my mind. Why is Porchlight still trying to say that I was wrong for everything I did when they were wrong for everything they did? I didn't do anything wrong. And Don needs to come out and be honest. Don, you met me on UW campus. We talked about the threats. We talked about the harassment. We talked about how I physically got touched by members, and you ignored it still. They should have been fired long before I was resigning. But nope, they still work there. Ladies and gentlemen, they still work there. I was threatening to put my, I'm glad they didn't do anything, because now I'm going to do something. Because that's not going to happen, friend. Not going to sit here and threaten me. Talk about you snitch. You want to snitch on everybody. Yeah. Fucking Jim. Maurice. Maurice was the worst. Always trying to kiss ass at one point and then gets upset when he can have his way. Like a little child. Come on, don't put this guy in shelter 2. No, listen, friend. Don't tell me who to put in shelter 2. And this is what I was telling everybody. Shelter managers had vendettas against certain people that were still houseless. Mind you, Maurice, William, all those people used to be homeless on the same line. And got to know they treat the same men and women on the same line like shit. What does that show you, everybody? That they really didn't care about these men and women. They only care about a paycheck and only care about having power and control. You were on the same line. I was on the same line. But the difference was that I was on the line for a short distance amount of time. You guys been there for years. Doing this shit. Every homeless man was warning me like, yo, don't trust Preston Patterson. He's a snitch. He's a two-facer. Don't trust Maurice. Maurice asked me to do like, this is what Maurice asked me one day when he first met me. He's like, yo, man, yo. So they call you Panda? Why? I was like, that's not really important, friend. That's not really important. Right? And he could say, yo, man, you smoke weed? And I was like, no, I don't want to smoke weed in Wisconsin. It's illegal, friend. I don't want to get in trouble. And I got too many faces around here that know me very well, and I don't want that image. Especially in Wisconsin. I don't want that image. Until marijuana is legal in Wisconsin, until then, I'm not touching it in Wisconsin. I never have touched it in Wisconsin. I've always been a straight shooter in Wisconsin. And then, yeah, it's crazy, everybody, how more these people are still working there. And it's so abusive. It was so abusive in 2019. I just can't believe that Porchlight is to make this. I can't believe Porchlight wants to make me become. This is what Porchlight is trying to do right now. They want me to become homeless. They want me to suffer. Because they knew I was telling the truth. They tried to find anything. They couldn't find anything. And to this day, you still can't find anything on me. This is why I was like, wait, where's the evidence? Where is the physical evidence? There's none. There's no physical evidence of me stealing food. There's no physical evidence of me calling people monkey. There's no physical evidence of anything else. There's no physical evidence of anything else. And by the way, I never called any of the men a monkey. Because if I did, why am I giving them $5? Wait, on Christmas Day, I took my own fucking money, Porchlight. This is what Porchlight said to me. I took my own money, everybody. I bought 155 Christmas cards. I put $5 each in every Christmas card. And I said to myself, on Christmas Day, because they forced me to work on Christmas Day, everybody. Oh yes, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, they forced me to work. Yep, Porchlight threatened me. Even though I asked for time off on Christmas, they still refused me to get that time off. Yes, they did. So I want to explain. On Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, I gave the men $5 cards, right? And you know what Preston Patterson told me? I can't do that. Why not? It's Christmas. It's my money. It's not your money. It's my money. Yeah, but you're solicited. You're literally giving these guys away and $5 and a card that says, Happy New Year from Panda. Wish you all the best, blah, blah, blah. I know things are rough and times are rough, but I got you guys back. That's what was written on all those cards. And Porchlight got mad at me for giving out $5 in Christmas cards to 141 men that night. It was 141 men. I had 155 or 157 cards. I had money left over. So I went around, after the shift, I went around the Capitol to look for the Chinese guy. Because he never comes into the shelter unless it's a really, really winter freezing night. And I gave him 2 of the cards. I said, here you go. And then I went around State Street to give the rest out. And then the next day, I get an email from Kim Sutter, like, I heard you were distributing money in exchange. I'm like, no? Who told you that? It's Christmas. I wasn't exchanging anything. I was giving money out for Christmas. These men and women need to be felt as if they have someone on their side. You didn't treat them like that on Porchlight Day, did you, Porchlight? On Christmas Day, what did you do for these men and women on Christmas Day, Porchlight? Not a damn thing. On Christmas Day, I volunteered for another church. And they wanted me to come back and volunteer. Again. What did you do for Christmas Day for these men and women, Porchlight? You didn't do shit. But I did. And you get mad. Oh, that's not the only time I did something on a holiday. Thanksgiving. I went to Emilio's. Okay, so, guys, you got Subway. Mostly, right? You got Subway brand. You got these Subway sandwiches brands. But if you ever go to Wisconsin, there's a sandwich place called Emilio's, right? I bought 112 sandwiches. And I bought, what is it? 115 high C juices, right? Oh yeah, guys, I was giving out a lot of food and a lot of love. This is why staff at Porchlight hated me. No, don't give those out. Give that to us. I told Preston, oh, that's not for you, friend. This is what happened. And Preston Patterson, don't lie. You took sandwiches that didn't belong to you, friend. I paid for those sandwiches. But anyway, I get the sandwiches. I get delivered. The guy comes delivered. It's like, you Panda? Like, that's me. Gives me a box full of sandwiches. I'm like, oh, this is my order. Great. Boom. I sat them on my desk. Preston Patterson comes up and says, like, oh, what is that about? I was like, oh, I just ordered some food for these guys. Ordered some sandwiches. Ordered some juice. It's Thanksgiving. Because I'm getting word that we might not have a Thanksgiving dinner today, but we might have one tomorrow. So I'm just preparing. He goes, oh, can I get one? I was like, no, these are for the men. I go into the bathroom. He takes 2 sandwiches. Yeah, I go to the bathroom. He takes 2 sandwiches. He told me, oh, I took 2. I was like, Preston, come on, man. And he's like, what are you giving me attitude for? I said, because I bought these for these men. Not you. You have Mark. Mark can cook your fucking steak. I said, Mark can cook your steak, friend. This is my money. This is not Porchlight. He goes, oh, but you can't do that anyway. And I said, I bet you I can. He got an attitude about it. Yes, he got an attitude. I told you, Preston, you have a job. You have your slave Mark. Have your slave Mark cook your steak. Don't take the sandwiches from the men. This is Thanksgiving Day evening. Come on, friend. He got the nerve to take the sandwiches, friend. And they're going to get mad all day, all night about it. Like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm like, good. You should never take, just steal it, friend. I don't care. I bought those sandwiches for the men and the women. I didn't buy it for you. He get an attitude. And he kept on with the attitude. And you know why I gave him attitude? Because of that stupid letter on November 20th about Lance Cloud. You literally threw me on the bus because you issue a ban, and then I tried to issue him another ban for calling me this and calling me names and spitting on me? Oh, wow. And you guys give me a day suspension? That is so stupid. So stupid. So, yeah, the next 4 days after that, I didn't want to talk to any of the staff. I did what I wanted to do. I know protocol, I know procedure, and I was within the procedure to give out the sandwiches. You just go greedy fat man that don't know how to stop eating, Preston. You don't know how to stop eating. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened on Thanksgiving Eve, and this is what happened on Christmas Day. I was giving out my own money to these men and women. This is why everyone was like, yo, Panda, yo, thank you, man. Yo, am I going to be able to get in shelter 2 tonight? I'm like, I don't know, man. We see. And then some people are like, hey, I want to go to shelter 3. I'm like, but you banned from shelter 3. And I'm like, okay, let me see. If you can behave yourself tonight, I'll let you go to shelter 3. If you go to shelter 3, I will definitely do shelter 3. I was trying to be fair to men and women. But Porchlight didn't want me to be fair to the men and women. They wanted me to treat them like savages. They're not savages, Preston Patterson. They're human beings, just like you and your children. Preston Patterson doesn't even like this Russian guy that fucking comes there. He's like, I don't like this guy. Because why? He doesn't like you? Because you're a racist. I told Preston himself, you're a racist, friend. You need to stop being racist. You're talking about these white people here don't care. That's the problem in the Midwest. Racism is still a thing. But here's the thing. I never had a problem with racism in Wisconsin. Only at Porchlight. See? I never had a racist issue at the UW campus. I never had a racist issue with my landlord. Only time I had an issue with my landlord was she would try to lie about certain things. And that wasn't a race issue. That was trying to get money out of us. I mean, but she got caught in her lie. I never had a race problem in Wisconsin other than Porchlight. That's what I'm talking about, everybody. This is what you have to understand. I never had a racist issue at Porchlight, in Madison, Wisconsin, ever, until I worked for Porchlight. What does that say? That says a lot. You know how many white girls I was dating in Madison, Wisconsin? Have you seen the women I dated in Madison, Wisconsin? It will blow your fucking mind. All the women I dated. I even dated that Swedish blonde girl I was dating. You guys might have seen her in my photographs. But yeah, we were wearing the same fedora. And I saw her, I was like, I know who you are. She's like, hey, Panda. And we started kicking it. Yeah, I piped, I smashed. Yeah, I'm a man, I love, listen, friend, I don't discriminate. Listen, if a woman from Africa is like, you're a chocolate delicious man. I'm like, well, I am. What do you want? You want a piece of me? I give it to her. No problem. No problem. Everyone needs love. But like, that's another problem. Every time I came around Porchlight with a Japanese girl, or Korean girl, or a European woman, Porchlight be like, oh, this is what the guys were like, oh, Panda, you've been hanging with girls, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I don't hang with crackheads like you guys do. Yeah, Maurice and his crackhead girlfriends. His drug addict girlfriends. Yeah. Maurice is like, ooh, this is why me and Maurice had it out one day in front of Porchlight. So, I'm with my Korean friend, Augie, right? He goes, damn, Panda, she's thick, boy. She got the big titties. I was like, yo, respect, friend. Don't say that in front of me, man. Respect. And I'm saying, bro, you tapping that? I'm like, no, respect me, motherfucker. He goes, what is your problem? I was like, you don't disrespect my friends like that. She's my friend. She's my date. You don't disrespect my date like that. I'm saying, man, help me with, and then he goes, I'm saying, bro, I want some Chinese pussy too. And I was like, she's not Chinese, you fucking idiot. She's Korean, you idiot. This is why some people don't understand the difference with Asian culture. This is why he's an idiot. He's like, I need some Chinese pussy. Like, no, she's Korean. Show her some respect. This is why I stopped bringing my friends around Porchlight. I stopped bringing the women around Porchlight. But the women was like, oh, Panda, you're doing such a great thing. But be careful. I heard about this place. This place is really bad. I was like, I don't know. I've been knowing about it since I've been going to UW University. But here's the thing. We donated. Me and Yuki donated to Porchlight before in the past. And this is why Porchlight doesn't remember Yuki and I donating $2,000 in the past in 2009. Okay. So where did that money go? But I digress, everybody. But this is why I'm telling everybody, like, yeah, there's disrespectfulness. Every time a woman walks in front of Porchlight or in front of the church, Maurice is saying something sexual. It's like, dude, get away from me, man. You're a fucking womanizer. Get away from me. I hate womanizers. I fucking hate them. You guys are this is why sometimes as a man, I feel disgusted. I feel like, damn. Now that woman might think I'm the same. This is why women think men are fucking disgusting now. Every time a woman, this is why I don't, listen, I like commenting on how women's fashion are. Because some women look better than men. Well, women are supposed to look better than men, but, but like, sometimes women just got the right fashion. And I'm a photographer, I love fashion. But to walk down the street, to sexualize a woman walking down the street like, ooh, I take those leggings off and spank that. This is what they were saying in front of, Grace Church. It was so embarrassing. It's like, yeah, very embarrassing, everybody. I'm ranting because I'm trying to figure out what to do with this EEOC situation. I have no idea how I'm going to pay an attorney. I have no idea how I'm going to get the money to pay off an attorney. And I need this attorney. I need this. But that's why I'm asking my audience. If you guys are lawyers or attorneys out there that really want to help me with this EEOC case, I think it's time. I want your help. I really want your help. If anyone's a lawyer out there that's watching this video, I need your help, friend. This is insane. And mind you, Preston Patterson, I have those emails of everyone saying, well, you need to go back to your native country or where you came from then. Yeah, I got those too. I got those text messages too. The group text messages that you guys left, oh yeah, you should save them, because I sure did. Talking about, well, Panda needs to go back. This is what it was said. That I think I need to go back where I came from. That's what it was said. I need to go back to where I came from. So, just wanted to show how racist Porchlight was and how discriminated Porchlight was. But with that said, everyone, I know I'm talking for a long time. Guys, I'm not nervous, but I am on alert. I just don't understand Porchlight. Why are they doing this dumb shit? They got mad because I filed an EEOC. They didn't even know I filed an EEOC until they received it. In 2020, like, oh, he filed an EEOC, then we're going to do this. Yeah, they didn't know. They thought I was going to go away. They thought I was going to move out. They knew I was moving out of Madison. Because I moved out of Madison, weeks later. I moved out of Madison weeks later. I got my shit together and bounced. See ya. Don't need you, Porchlight. I don't need you, Porchlight, but I do need Wisconsin. And I want Wisconsin to know, yeah, Wisconsin, if you ever watch this video, I want all the Wisconsin people to know I have love for all of you, but I don't have love for Porchlight. Because Porchlight are not Wisconsinites. They're a bunch of dictators. Most of them are from Chicago. Some of them are not even from Wisconsin. I'm not from Wisconsin, but I've been living in Wisconsin since 2006 with Yuki. She moved out in what, 2010? I continued to stay. I moved out, I came back, I came to visit, and look at this. I came to work back in the state of Wisconsin, and this is what happens? Okay, friends. All right, then. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because something ain't cultured, friends. Someone is lying at Porchlight. And it's HR, and if it's HR that's lying about this stuff, darn, you weren't even there when all this was happening. You just came on board in February. Yes. So Daniel Barnes was the one that was supposed to be HR. But Daniel Barnes, you also were being discriminated by Preston Patterson. But I digress. That's your problem. I try to help you, friend. Try to tell you that Preston Patterson was not a big fan of you. He wasn't a fan of any of you. He just, yeah. He's a black man that wants to treat black people and white people like shit. Because he thinks he's like ex-football player. So what are you ex-football? You're a fat player. You can't even run. My man, come on, friend. You can't even run. So with that said, everyone, I gotta deal with this shit. Constantly, all the time now. So with that said, everyone, I'm sorry I took up most of your time. I'm sorry I'm talking for so long. I apologize. I just don't have friends that I can rely on. That's just the honest truth. I'm always alone. I will always be alone. I'm always out here alone. And there's no one out here that wants to even fucking have a conversation about this with me right now. No one's asking me, how is my mental health? Yeah. No one's asking me, how's my mental health? No one's asking me, did you eat today? I didn't eat. I ate one time yesterday. That was lunch. Thank you, John, for the $10 donation, by the way. Yesterday. I appreciate that. This is so stressful, friends. But with that said, everyone, I'm not going to take up no more than your time. I just want to explain why I have to probably go back to Wisconsin. And when I do, I'm going to surprise Porchlight with the attorney. It's like, yep, I'm here. I'm here with my attorney. But I want to go to Wisconsin. I want to actually subpoena Porchlight. Yeah, I want to subpoena Porchlight. I want to subpoena Porchlight. I want to subpoena for damages. Emotional stress and discrimination. I want to sue them. I want to sue them again. I want to keep suing them until they understand the point. Like, you can't just hire people and then disrespect your own employees and not care for your employees. When your employees said they were attacked, you're supposed to take care of that. Not say, oh well, you have to deal with it. We need to have a meeting with all the staff. That's what their solution was. A meeting with the staff. If someone was getting threatened or hit by another staff, it's a meeting. But again, no one was suspended. No one was penalized other than me. That's just funkily, stupidly, unnecessarily weird. But with that said, everyone, see ya.